Today I have a Typography Illustrator tutorial where we're going to design some awesome vector typography in Adobe Illustrator. What is up people, it's Tom back again with Satori Graphics, the home of graphic design content right here on YouTube. I'd quickly just like to remind you all to click the bell icon to turn on the notifications. This way you're never going to miss an upload of mine. Now let's jump right into today's Typography Illustrator tutorial. Here is our text, and it looks fairly bland right now, but we're going to turn this into some awesome typography in today's tutorial. Here's the font in case you want to know what it is, and there's actually a link in the description below if you want to download it. The first thing we need to do is outline the typography so it changes the font into an actual vector shape. And then we need to ungroup everything that's going to enable us to edit each individual letter. Press Command or Ctrl R to open up the rulers, and then drag down a guide that we're going to use to line the typography along a base line. Select each letter individually and nudge them left, right, up and down with the arrow keys on your keyboard. You can also press V to access the selection tool and move the typography around this way. Once you've ordered and arranged your typography, you can now check for anomalies like this here. If you press A on your keyboard, you're going to access the direct selection tool, and with this tool you can edit each individual anchor point of your typography. However, you could also access the smooth tool here, and simply click a single anchor point to smoothen the entire letter like so. This tip will really help you in today's Typography Illustrator tutorial. I'm going to repeat the process here on the A. And as you can see, it easily smoothens the entire letter. You can also access the direct selection tool and click once on an anchor point, hit delete once and then delete again. This will remove a section of your typography. So go over your entire typography design using the direct selection tool, the smooth tool, and edit the style and the shape of the lettering until you're happy with how it looks for your typography design. We're now going to add some cool details to our typography in today's tutorial. Press P on your keyboard to access the pen tool, and then draw in a line like I'm doing here. Press V to access the selection tool and deselect off of the path and increase the stroke weight. Here's a quick tip for you all, either double click the line or right click it so that you can isolate the line like so. Now you can see it a lot easier on your screen. If you then take the width tool, you can edit and control the width of the line anywhere along the stroke path. This of course is up to you and you should do what you think looks best for your typography design. If you open up the stroke window here, you can round off the end of the line. If you see what it looks like when it's not rounded off and then after, when I change the setting, obviously the rounded off version looks better. You then simply need to click the top grey bar to uncheck the isolation option. Access the direct selection tool and edit the line that you've just made. We need to open up the Pathfinder window for the next part of today's Typography Illustrator tutorial. Access the pen tool and then draw in a shape that we're going to use to cut into the typography. Turn the shape over to a fill and then select both the shape and your typography and use the minus front option in the Pathfinder window. Again, edit the vector path with the direct selection tool, and then go ahead and do this all over your typography design. You should take your time to make sure everything is perfect before you continue with the tutorial. I have a technique to show you quickly. We can cut into the typography using the pathfinders we did before. So draw in a shape with the pen tool, flick the shape over to a fill, and then cut into the typography with the pathfinder tool. This will add more depth and detail to your design in today's Typography Illustrator tutorial. As you can see, my typography design is taking shape. So get creative with the lines you add to your design, and when you get to this stage, we're going to add an underline to our design. But first, outline the stroke, and then unite everything in the Pathfinder window. Access the pen tool, and then draw a curved line underneath the typography like I'm doing here. We want to add a rounded off stroke effect to the stroke in the stroke window, and then increase the stroke weight. Access the width tool with Shift plus W, and then edit the weight so it goes from thin to thick at the very end. Once you've constructed your line, add smaller lines as we did before on the typography, matching the style and the effect. We now have the typography finished in today's tutorial. We need to outline the stroke again and then unite everything in the Pathfinder window, basically leaving it as one united vector shape. This will enable us to add multiple strokes and gradients, so open up the appearance panel like so. With the typography selected, click the top right corner of the appearance panel and add a new fill. You'll want to select the gradient icon and then add your gradient. You can choose whatever colours you wish for your design. You can easily edit the direction of the gradient with the gradient tool here. Once you've added the gradient on the fill, we can then add a black background with the rectangle tool. Send it to the very back and then lock it down in place. Select the typography again and drag the stroke layer below the fill layer. We want this stroke to match the black of the background. And then add a new stroke again and then drag this one behind both layers. You need to click the same gradient color of the fill to match the stroke, and then increase the stroke weight. You may have issues like I have here, and to resolve this, select the typography and open up the stroke window. Use the same settings as I used. So play around with the settings and the strokes of your design until you're happy with your typography. And that was today's Typography Illustrator tutorial brought to you by Satori Graphics. I hope you enjoyed today's video and you found it useful. If you did, let me know in the comment section below and like and share this video. Remember to subscribe for weekly graphic design uploads if you haven't done already. And until next time, design your future today. Peace.